Earth had earned a brief, uneasy reprieve after the destruction of the Obliterator. The Shadow Dominion's fleet had scattered, licking their wounds, but the Resistance knew better than to celebrate. Inside the Resistance base, tension was thick as leaders prepared for the inevitable retaliation. Markov paced in the command center, his gaze fixed on the holographic map of Earth's orbit. They're regrouping. We've disrupted their plans, but they'll be back, and angrier than ever. Dr. Trent frowned as she reviewed the decoded files from the alien network. There's something strange in these files. A message, encrypted so deeply it's almost as if they didn't want their own forces to see it. Evan leaned over her shoulder. What does it say? Trent hesitated. It's not complete, but it mentions something called the beacon. It's positioned somewhere on Earth, and the Shadow Dominion considers it critical. Markov's expression darkened. If it's critical to them, it's dangerous for us. Find out where it is. We need to destroy it before they use it. Later that night, an unidentified ship approached the Resistance base. Its design was sleek, with glowing runes that shimmered in the darkness. Resistance scanners flagged it as alien, triggering alarms across the base. Markov ordered the defenses to hold fire as the ship landed outside the base. We need answers, not more enemies, he said. The ship's hatch opened, and a single figure emerged, tall, clad in black armor and carrying no visible weapons. Its face was obscured by a sleek helmet. I come in peace, the figure said, its voice calm and strangely human. Markov narrowed his eyes. Who are you? The figure removed its helmet, revealing a pale, humanoid face with piercing silver eyes. My name is Kael. I am a defector from the Shadow Dominion. The room erupted in murmurs, but Kael raised a hand. I know you have no reason to trust me, but if you want to survive, you'll need my help. The beacon isn't just a tool, it's a weapon. And it's already active. Kael was brought to the command center under heavy guard. He studied the star map, his silver eyes scanning the alien fleet's movements. The beacon is a control mechanism, Kael explained. It sends signals that amplify the Shadow Dominion's power, allowing them to dominate entire planets. Right now, it's suppressing Earth's natural energy fields, weakening your defenses, and making your people vulnerable to their technology. Dr. Trent leaned forward, her expression skeptical. Why would you help us? What's in it for you? Kael's gaze didn't waver. Because the Dominion's destruction is inevitable, and I refuse to die with them. I've seen what they do to conquered worlds. They're not just conquerors, they're exterminators. Markov crossed his arms. And how do we know you're not leading us into a trap? Kael met his gaze. You don't. But if you don't act soon, the beacon will summon reinforcements from Dominion fleets across the galaxy. Destroy it, and you'll buy yourselves time. Leave it, and you'll be fighting an unwinnable war. With Kael's information, the Resistance pinpointed the beacon's location, a heavily fortified alien structure hidden deep in a mountain range. Markov, Reyna, and a small strike team prepared for the mission, knowing it would be one of their most dangerous yet. As they approached the mountain, their transport ship cloaked to avoid detection, Kael briefed the team. The beacon's defenses are automated, but once you're inside, you'll face Dominion enforcers. They'll fight to the death to protect the beacon. You'll need to disable its core and destroy the entire structure. Reyna smirked. Sounds easy enough. Kael didn't share her amusement. The beacon isn't just a machine. It's partially alive, like the drones you've encountered. It will resist you. Markov adjusted his weapon. We've handled worse. Let's move. The strike team infiltrated the mountain under the cover of darkness. The alien structure loomed before them, its walls glowing faintly with pulsating energy. Kael led the way, guiding them through narrow corridors lined with alien symbols. As they moved deeper into the beacon, the air grew heavy, filled with a low, droning hum that seemed to seep into their minds. It's trying to disorient us, Kael warned. Focus. Ignore the sound. Suddenly, the team was ambushed by Dominion enforcers, tall, humanoid figures with glowing armor and energy weapons. The battle was fierce, But the resistance fighters held their ground, using teamwork and precision to take down their foes. When they finally reached the core chamber, they were met with a sight that froze them in their tracks. The core was a massive, pulsating orb suspended in the air, surrounded by tendrils of energy that lashed out like living things. Kael stepped forward, his expression grim. "This is it. Destroy the core and the beacon falls." Reyna set the charges while the rest of the team held off waves of Dominion reinforcements. As the countdown began, the core's tendrils grew more aggressive, striking out at anything that moved. Markov shouted over the chaos, "Everyone, fall back.
Now."
The team sprinted through the corridors as the charges detonated, sending shockwaves through the beacon. The structure began to collapse, its walls crumbling as the core's energy surged out of control. As they reached the exit, a massive explosion rocked the mountain, sending debris flying in all directions. The team barely made it to their transport ship before the entire structure imploded, leaving nothing but a smoking crater behind. Back at the resistance base, Markov debriefed the team. "The beacon is gone, and the Dominion's hold on Earth is weaker. But this war is far from over." Kael nodded. "You've won a battle, but the Dominion will retaliate. They won't forgive this." Markov glanced at him, his expression unreadable. "Then they'll learn what it means to fight humans." As the base prepared for the next phase of the war, the team knew the cost of their victory. They had bought themselves time, but at what price?